HIV.
So Bill had brought up the carnivore diet before, and
Yeah.
like, how do you get fiber, or is fiber necessary?
Oh.
So is it necessary?
Okay.
So is fiber necessary in a daily diet?
Holy cow.
Is that what we're asking?
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. There's that was a setup question, because there's going to be 50% of people like, oh, you're full of it. And the other one's like, yeah, man. Or I'll probably piss them both off.
It's good.
That's a good thing.
I think so too. This is my take on this. Okay. We do not have the length of gastrointestinal tract as like a gorilla or a chimpanzee. The longer that colon is, and this, it's made for more of that fermentation of fiber. You typically see, as you go to the herbivore spectrum, if an omnivore, kind of right in the middle, eating, that's what we are as humans, eating meat, we can eat plants, we can eat a lot of different things. As the GI tract lengthens, animals are more able to get more nutrition out of vegetable matter, including in fiber especially. They're able to ferment. The gut bacteria are really kind of, with that long, lengthy intestinal tract, able to do that. Humans, it's shorter, okay? It's not as short as an obligate carnivore like a cat, right? Who really don't have much of an ability at all to kind of do that. And I'm not a veterinarian but in general, that's kind of how it goes with the length of the intestines. Now, is it necessary? It seems to depend on the composition of your gut microbiota. In other words, what those things, what kind you have in there, which can be influenced themselves by diet. Some people do really well with high fiber. Okay, some people it absolutely destroys them, and I mean gastrointestinally wise.
What's the difference between gut biota, and gut biome?
Okay, great question. The biota is the actual organisms. The biome is actually the collection of genetics. So, for instance, if we took 100 people in a room and we sampled all their genetics, that complete sample would be their collective genome. Okay, there's an individuals there, but and if we sampled all the genes, here are the collection of genes present in that sample group. Same with gut microbiota. The microbiome is what genetics are present through that whole group. So there are, if you say, well, my microbiome is different, that means you have different amounts and different types of species that contribute to different genetics to the pool. So when we call it biome, we're talking about the actual genetics. When we talk about biota, we're talking about the actual organisms themselves. Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. It's often used interchangeably, incorrectly, actually.
Okay. So you're saying that some people, fiber can destroy?
I mean, as far as they really have a hard time with high fiber stuff. Now, the medical dogma, and you'll hear this, it's almost what I'm saying is heresy according to medical dogma. Oh, you need to eat more fiber. It's like, well, it depends who you are. It depends on what your microbiome biome and microbiota composition is. How well are you able to ferment that fiber? Because that's what is really important. We give fiber to certain strains of bacteria that actually they use it as fuel, and their byproducts actually, for instance, like butyrate we talked about, is a short chain fatty acid that the microbiota actually produce as like a product of their fermenting fiber, which is really good for our colons. Some people are very, very healthy eating a predominantly plant-based diet. For whatever reason, they do really well with it. Others, not so much. And so, because you've seen people, there are whole groups of people like the Maasai who almost subsist on, almost a completely animal-based diet. And there's other groups that subsist on more of a vegetarian diet. So, there's a lot of epigenetics and ancestry that kind of, come up with that. Mm-hmm. If you ask a regular doctor, they'll spit out, they'll parrot the stuff they were taught. Oh, you know, you need to add fiber. Maybe, you know, you have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. Oh, you need to increase fiber. Sometimes that can be the wrong thing to do.
So would you say it's a good idea to have some fiber?
Maybe.